Alright, so this is going to be the first of hopefully many free coaching videos where I do VODs. In order to enter, basically all you have to do is join the link in the description for the Discord channel and then post an unlisted video on YouTube of the games you want me to play. It can be just one game like this person and then you will be a part of a video with multiple people, or you can be like this person who submits a longer video of a bunch of games and I watch the whole thing for like 44 minutes. I'll probably only do 30 minutes of them, just because of how long it'll take me to actually talk through plays. This will be on ×2 speed, so things can go a little bit faster, and then I'll pause for important moments, for example, mulligans. I would keep the Sanguine Depths here and get rid of everything else. I do like Jam Session, but without a card to actually support it, I don't think that it will actually be very good. And we don't know what Death Knight deck they're going, right? It could be Plague, it could be Unholy, it could be Frost, it could be Blood, so I want to be a little bit more careful and just keep the cards that I know for a fact will be good in basically every matchup. And it looks like they just keep the Sanguine Depths, which is perfectly fine for me. I actually like the Sun Fury Champion. That's a lot of setup here. So it looks like they're going Unholy. A little bit weird that they run that card. By the way, this is in gold. I'll move my camera a little bit so you can see the rank. So the meta will be a little bit different from what I am particularly used to, and they don't have a deck tracker off to the side, but I will assume that it's the standard deck, just the one that most people are running, and I will have it off to the side. So this turn, I think they're actually thinking about coining out the Steam Guardian or Hero Powering. I personally would just Hero Power here. Steam Guardian, they're not really applying that much pressure, right? If they had a good turn 1 and a good turn 2, and they had multiple minions on the board where I felt like I'd need to fight for the board here, I would possibly play coin Steam Guardian. But since there's no reason to, I would just Hero Power end turn. There's no reason to try to force this out and apply extra pressure. It just doesn't make sense to me, personally. But next turn, probably just playing it and hopefully reducing the cost of Trial by Fire could be good. A 3-mana 2/2 is definitely not something you're particularly afraid of. So you have the Steam Guardian or the Acolyte of Pain. I would lean more towards the Acolyte of Pain here because you could draw up to 3 cards with it. You Hero Power it, they hit the 2/2 in, and then they hit the 1/1 in with their Hero Power. But I guess you don't want to, I guess your hand is full enough to where you don't need to go Acolyte of Pain, but that is what I was thinking. Weird that they would do this and then leave the 3/1 up. I guess, no, I guess it makes sense. Because they're thinking, oh, they can't hit it with this, but damaging the minion means that if Barbecue, that's the name of the person here, has the weapon, it could be pretty bad for them. But setting it down to 1 HP does make things a little bit awkward if you want to play the Sun Fury. I don't think that the Death Knight's play was all that bad. Here, I would probably, okay, I was going to say I would probably go coin Trial by Fire, trade in, and go for a bit of a wider board, because committing to just 1 minion can be a little bit dangerous. But, I mean, 11 damage right to the face when you already know you have Remornia in your hand is also definitely very, very strong as well. Both plays, I think, are viable. I guess I mean, on turn 5, like, here's my thought process, right? If they have the 4-mana Unholy card that summons 3 taunts, what exactly are you going to do at that point now that you have played this 11/6? Alternatively, you could have played Trial by Fire and protected against that, because you would have had 3 attack minions after the trades. You would have had a 3/2 and a 3/3 and a 3/3 left, which goes better into the taunts, but it doesn't look like they have it, so you are going to get rewarded for this play and potentially kill them as early as in a turn or 2, actually, which is quite good. Also, if they had some sort of removal or rush minion somehow that was a little bit stronger than this to kill off your 11/4, maybe things would have been a bit scary. But in the end, you just get to hit face again, possibly just go Sun Fury Champion into Embers to kill off most of the minions, and then keep your 11/4 alive and just go face. That's what I would do here. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to hit face first here, but sometimes I do that just in case I think I'm going to mess something up. And okay, so they get some 2/2s, but I just think that they're going a little bit too slow here. There's a world where maybe the Death Knight has something, right? No, Marrowgar's too expensive. Those things can't attack this turn because they don't have rush. If they have another one, they can go 1/1, trade here, 1/1. No. Yeah, they'd have to go 1/1, trade here, 1/1. Which does leave you in a kind of awkward spot, but now you can just go Remornia and almost set up lethal, and then play Trial by Fire right after that. So it's going to be Remornia, Hero Power, hit into something, hit face, hit into something else, and then you have Remornia equipped. If they play taunts at this point, then you get to just play this. Or they don't kill off your 1/2, and then Remornia plus location is just lethal, I guess. I mean, that's fine. That's good. We'll take that win. Honestly, pretty well played. I think that Barbecue, you did get rewarded for the play by pumping up one big minion. And I guess because they didn't play the 1-3 taunts on turn 4, you could assume that they didn't have it. Because what did they do instead on turn 4? They played another Chill Fallen Baron and a Body Bagger. So I guess they are drawing a decent amount of extra cards as well, which makes it a little bit scary. But I respect the play that you did. I think that going for a fast win and banking on the fact that they don't have it is viable. I would have gone for a little bit more of a conservative play, but that's just something that I usually do. I'm used to more controlled decks. I'll play the more conservative play and try to swing the game late and just go late game because I'm pretty sure I can beat them at that point. But I definitely understand why you wanted to rush them down quickly, especially as an Unholy Death Knight, right? You don't know when they're going to play Grave Strength and kill you, so I could definitely see it going both ways. I just wanted to keep that in mind for you, though, to just remember cards that they could potentially play around. Because I don't even know if you, like, thought about that, and that's one of the difficult things of VODs, is that I don't know 100% what is going on in your head when you're making these plays. Like, did you take into consideration the 3-1-3s and just think, no, I can rush them down? Or did you not even think about it? And if you didn't even think about it, then that's problematic. I would probably keep this whole hand, honestly. Steam Guardian's good. The Champion, I just think it's such a good setup card. But I guess, and you'll probably draw a fire spell off of the Steam Guardian anyway. And with a Demon Hunter, it could be one of two things. It could be Spell Demon Hunter or it could be Outcast Aggro Demon Hunter. The Outcast Aggro Demon Hunter has a lot of 2-1 and 1-1 little rush minions. So you could have just used it as more of a removal with the Sun Fury Champion as well. Or I guess it could be something different, I guess, because again, it is gold. Maybe it could be different. I would probably just Hero Power here. I don't think I need to play Embers. I mean, maybe, I don't know. If I had the weapon, I would play Embers here for sure. But without the weapon, playing this seems a little bit weird. But maybe. Okay, so Acolyte of Pain into locationing it this turn. Now, I'm a little bit confused, just in theory, what your thought process is going into these two games. Because you actually have two of the almost exact same plays on turn 3. Either Steam Guardian into hit, or Acolyte of Pain, and then just Hero Power, or location it. You go with the Acolyte of Pain play this turn, and if you're in the comments, I would like to hear your thought process on why you did the other play, even though it's a very similar situation. Nothing really on turn 2. I would have played the Acolyte of Pain last game, so I agree with this play more. But I just want to know what your thought process was, because I would have played Acolyte of Pain here, like I said already. I don't think they ever trade into here and draw you a card. Ooh, okay. So you have a couple of different things you could do here, actually. Oh, okay. So this turn's a bit weird. What I would have done here is I would have, yes, played this, but then I would have gone Jam Session on the 3-3. I think they just played a bit too fast. Like, it's something that I do as well. Like, you saw how fast they took their turn. They really didn't think about it that long. You can see kind of in the bottom right how much time they've taken to think on their turn and how much time they have left. This actually might be something good for me to get, so I might get this outplayed overlay at some point. But you leave 1 mana floating. Jam Session kills the 1-1, also pumps your 1-4, also pumps your 3-3, which will draw you more cards going forward. I think that doing that would be way better. I think they just got excited because, yes, the Crazed Wretch into the location is a pretty sick combo, but I think there is a better combo they could have done. Because now they're able to just kill off both of your minions. Okay, luckily it doesn't kill the Crazed Wretch. That actually got very lucky for you. And now you're in a bit of an awkward spot. Like, what exactly do you do here? Now, if you play Jam Session, you're overloaded going into your turn 6, and your turn 6 is actually a very, very, very important turn, because you want to play Trial by Fire. So by playing in this order, it messes up your turn 6, because you're going to be overloaded on the wrong turn. It left you open to some sort of pump into removal. To be fair, I never expected the Argent Squire. Saying that I did would be absolutely ridiculous, but I think that trying to go for a bigger minion and pumping it up and using more of your mana last turn would have been better, because I don't really know how you deal with this now. I guess you could go Sun Fury Champion, Jam Session on this, and then use the location to finish off the 3-3, and then you still have 2 mana up where you can go, maybe just like the Foul Egg or something. Maybe you could play the Foul Egg first so it dies, or you could just Hero Power. You're gonna go with Steam Guardian, okay. Interesting. But yeah, now they're overloaded for this turn. They just lost that minion. Again, you could have killed it off if you wanted to with the Sun Fury Champion. I think they just made a couple of like plays that were a bit too fast. But luckily it looks like the deck they're running is kind of off meta, you could say. Here I would probably just go Extractor, hero power it, or location it, and then play the other dude to copy it, and then maybe save one location, and then play the egg or something. I want to save at least one location, because you can only do 9 damage with the Ecore anyway. You want to transform it into this, though. Okay, good. Okay, that turn. I don't know if I would do it again, because you don't know where the pumps are going to go. They didn't go on Remornia, and now you have a little bit less burst with Remornia, which could be a problem later on. But I guess your minions on board are a little bit bigger. Then the Wolf trades into the 5-2. Not bad. How many pumps ended up going? Did none of them go on Remornia? That's so funny if none of them went on Remornia. Okay, one of them did, one of them did, that's fine. And you should be able to win the game next turn. You have nothing to rush into, though, so there's a world where Remornia actually dies here, which would be very unfortunate. But they also just, like, might not have the tools to kill. Oh. Into Rush? Interesting. They do still die to the 2 locations and then hitting in the face, though, so you are perfectly fine at this point. I will say, at this, based on what I've seen, I think you take your plays a little bit... Oh, no. Oh, no. You kind of, Okay. That's fine. I don't know if I would play the other... I would have also hero powered. You wasted 2 mana there. It's not a big deal because you're in a good spot. But, okay, chill, Maybe this is... Okay, this matchup was pretty favored for you. But I will say, like, even though they win the game, and people will say, like, oh, they're just playing an off-meta deck, they're winning the game, blah, 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 blah. It's all about improving, right? And a thing you could focus on would possibly be something like the turn 4 play, right? Where you played a little bit too fast, you didn't see the jam session that would kill the 1/1, activate the Crazed Wretch, and actually give you more damage on the Acolyte of Pain. I mean, there's no way to know that they're gonna run this 3/3. So, like, it's hard to say, oh, you were punished for it because of whatever. But just take a little bit more time on your plays and see how you can maximize your damage. In fact, I'm very curious as to your thought process, because on this turn, like, literally it's almost 1-to-1 with the last game, where I would have played Trial by Fire. Where I would have played Trial by Fire on, I think it was this turn with the coin, yeah, on turn 4, but you commit to just 1 minion. And then in the next game, where I actually do think you should commit, because you want to play around potential taunt minions, right? You want to think about what they're doing. You're like, okay, they could play taunt minions, so let's try to, or maybe 1 single target removal. So let's try to build up a wider board. And then in the next game, you make the opposite play, but again, in a situation where I don't think it's good. In this situation, Demon Hunters don't usually have taunt minions. This is a situation where I would commit to just 1 minion, like the Acolyte of Pain, and go face here. So definitely a little bit weird. So just think about your plays a little bit, and think about what your opponent could have, right? And when you want to commit to 1 minion. When you want to commit to 1 minion is when you think, like, if you're against like a fairly aggressive deck, and you don't think that they could have taunts. Both of these were aggressive decks, just one of them runs taunts a little bit more often than the other. But let's go into the next game here, because you know that was a win. And, okay, and also this misplay, you played too fast. No, wait, you didn't. I'm dumb. You didn't play too fast. I'm dumb. Doing it a second time would have killed off the minion. That actually wasn't a misplay. I'm dumb for that one. You played that correctly. My bad, my bad, my bad. But you still ended up winning. The matchup was just unfair for the other person. Playing against a priest. Okay. Would I keep this whole hand here? Oh, wait. They did mulligans. My bad. Sorry. I went too far ahead. I would get rid of everything here. It looks like they do get rid of everything here. You just don't really have any support for the Crazed Wretch. You want to try to use it as like a burst with the new card that copies a damaged minion. Job done. This hand isn't great. I mean, you could play the Extractor turn 2. It depends on what build they're going. It doesn't look like they're going Shadow. Really? Interesting. Well, I guess you don't know what they're doing. If they kill off your 1/4 for nothing, I guess it's fine. And you want to try to... Oh, my word. Okay, it's Steam Guardian here for sure. I don't know, the Anima Extractor definitely could have been good though, because you have it on the board. If they don't remove it, you can go like Jam Session Trade. You can go like Sun Fury Champion Jam Session Trade or something like that to do even more damage. And try to pump up minions, because let's just say you hit the Crazed Wretch, that'll be a lot of extra burst damage, but maybe that would be me playing a little bit too aggressive with this deck. Okay, so going into turn 4, again, you have an option of going for 1 minion, which is the Jam Session play, basically, or you can go for a wider board, and you can go for the Embers of Strength. If you do want to go with the Jam Session, you could double Jam Session and play the Sun Fury Champion, and it would kill this off. So it'd be Sun Fury Champion, Jam, go face. Again, into a control matchup, I would probably not run just 1 minion here, because they could play Cannibalize or Light It Burns and completely wreck you. I would probably go for a slightly wider board here. That's just me, but I could see it going both ways. The wider play would probably be like Embers of Strength, along with, I don't know, I was going to say an Anima Extractor, because if they hit other minions, then, especially if you were going to trade here anyway, I would have gone for Anima Extractor Trade, so that way you have taunt minions out there that could potentially take damage, and then you can set up for a big play later with Jam Session. That's fine. So, okay, let's talk about that play, because hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. So on that turn 4, if this had been the Anima Extractor, 1 minion automatically gets a pump, pretty much. And it could have been the Crazed Wretch or Olgra, both of which are very solid. And then it sets up for Jam Sessions with the Sun Fury Challenger very well the next turn. I mean, if this Anima Extractor had already been out there, you would be able, I mean, I guess there's a world that the Anima Extractor dies, right? Because we don't exactly know what they're doing. But for them, I feel like it would feel awful to just like cannibalize a 2-mana 1/4. So maybe they'd leave it out there and then you'd go for a super big snowball play. But now I would probably go for Anima Extractor, Sun Fury Challenger, and then at least 1 Jam Session. And then worst case scenario, it'll pump up one of these 2 minions, which is really strong. It looks like that's what they're gonna do. Oh, my bad. Double Jam Session actually makes a lot of sense. Actually, no. Wait, no, a bit of a misplay here, actually. A bit of a misplay. The Jam Session kills off your own minions before you are able to trade in, and then this isn't able to go in either. Okay, so this play, again, you didn't take your time with your play. What you want to do here, especially if you're going to play Jam Session and do damage to your own minions, is you want to set up with a Sun Fury Challenger, because it's just going to cause them to take more damage. I guess you could have also, like I said, you could have done 2 Jam Sessions, but I like having the other Jam Session for a surprise pump for extra damage. It's because these are basically going to fulfill the same role. So it should have probably been Sun Fury Challenger, Jam Session, or sorry, Anima, then Sun Fury Challenger, then Jam Session on one of the taunt minions, because the other taunt minion was going to die anyway, and then you could trade here, go face or something. It's a little bit of an awkward turn, because that 2/4 is hard to kill, but it's fine. Also, Jam Sessioning the 4/7 feels bad to me, because you're actually not able to kill a 2/4 or really do that much damage here. Because now you still have to contend with this 2/1 on board that's a taunt minion. They could play Cannibalize, and it just completely wrecks your whole strategy. If you Cannibalize, it heals this all the way back up to full, and I don't really see a world where you can win the game anymore. At this point, the game is basically over. Because you didn't play the Sun Fury Champion, you have another minion that could potentially soak up the pumps, which means that the Olgra and the Crazed Wretch are going to be significantly weaker. I think that individual misplay is enough to straight lose you the game, but maybe I'm wrong. I wonder if they win. Okay, it looks like they are going to lose this game in the next 4 minutes. Spoiler alert, but I could tell you right now, just right out of the gate, that they're probably going to lose given the situation. Sister Svalna is a bit of a slow play, which I guess is nice for you, especially without Love Everlasting. Hit there. Okay. I possibly would have gone Decimator Olgra there. I probably would have gone Decimator Olgra there. I actually don't know how many pumps they have. I can't hover over it. But as long as Decimator Olgra had 1 pump, right, she'd be 6, 2, and face, as opposed to wasting your Battle-Worn Faceless, which is, by the way, like one of the most important cards in this deck for burst. So now that you don't have that anymore, your burst potential is significantly limited. Wait, was it pumped? Hold up. They hover. Okay, it wasn't pumped. Okay, the fact that it wasn't pumped means that this play is at least a little bit better. But again, this is why if you had another jam session, you could have done that and then played jam session, and Olger would have done more damage. And you have to just think about that kind of stuff, you know? Not playing as fast as you did, and thinking about what your win conditions are. Like, okay, so another thing is like, what is your win condition of this deck? The win condition of this deck is a lot more bursty. And since the win condition of this deck is very burst oriented, I guess also there's an argument on this turn, I guess now that I'm looking back, is that I guess you could have just like not played the Crazed Wretch at all and just hero powered instead of Anima Extractor. And then you could have played Anima Extractor and Jam Session and a Sun Fury champion. You would have gotten less pumps out of the Anima Extractor for sure, but it would have been a slightly safer play to play around priest removal, so I guess there's an argument for that as well. But the win condition of this deck is all burst. I would not ever play the Crazed Wretch just raw like that, ever. And since you use that in your jam sessions, now all of a sudden here, you're at a significant disadvantage, right? Because now you don't have your charge minion for the win. You don't have... I mean, at this point, I probably would have just played the Sun Fury champion. Like, you need to apply that pressure to the board or you're just gonna lose. So I would have played, I think, the 5/7 Sun Fury champion, just hoping maybe that it could be enough to push lethal here somehow. But basically, just don't give up your,
You really can rock all night.
You don't want to give up your win conditions. There's a world here where you get... No, you've already used, again, both jam sessions, so you can't play jam session into Olgra here either, which, again, is super duper awkward. Thief Accusation, I don't know why they used it on the 6-3 as opposed to the 6-5. A little bit of a misplay on their part, but I don't think it matters too much. At this point, you just gotta go Olgra, right? What? Okay, at this point, I think you really do need to go Olgra to kill off the taunt minions and go face. Because you're not going to win the game here by playing slow. Every turn, and that's another thing with like matchups, right? If you're playing against a control matchup, and you're kind of a bursty matchup, and you've already used some of your like combo pieces, the only way that you ever win this matchup now is by pumping out damage and trying to end the game as fast as possible. Because every turn that goes by, the priest is going to get stronger and you're going to get weaker. So this turn, it should have been Olgra. If you had had the Sun Fury champion out the turn before, and then you played Olgra, that's 5. And let's just say Decimator Olgra comes in. I mean, there's an argument, I guess, even if you play the champion, you hit a 2-4 with the champion, so Olgra's a little bit stronger and it kills the 6-6. So yeah, you play the champion. On the other turn, I possibly would have played both here. Arguably, because then if they trade in with the 2-2-4s, Olgra's even stronger. But here, like, again, if you play Olgra and you had the Sun Fury champion, that's 12, 17, 20, that's 22 damage going face as a burst. And now if you draw Remornia, you have, like, a win condition. And it actually looks like going forward into this next turn, oh, they got Olgra. That's crazy. Did you do any damage to them this game? I mean, this game is, we already know the game is going to be a loss. We already know how this one ends. They took 3 damage, and now you end up drawing the weapons. Kind of lame you drew the weapons as late as you did, but I think I'm going to watch one more game. I don't think I'll watch the whole 44 minutes. We'll see how this format goes. And into this, I would probably into a Demon Hunter. Anima Extractor is fine. Again, I would keep Jam Session. 1, pumps up the Anima Extractor. 2, could deal with a lot of little 1/1 rush minions. Oh, you also have the Legendary. I didn't even see that because an X was over already. I would keep this as well. You could coin this out as early as turn 3. And then again, with this, I would keep a Fire Spell to help make it a little bit stronger. I guess you get a Fire Spell in the Embers of Strength anyway, so it's fine. But against the Demon Hunter, I would assume it's going to be more aggressive. It looks like they take a little bit of time to do their mulligans, so let's skip ahead a little bit. And they're going first. Okay, they're just going to Hero Power. This clarifies nothing. It could still be any deck. Location, yeah, makes sense here. I don't think there's a reason to play the Anima Extractor in this case. The only reason I could see is to put pressure on the board and then also play like Jam Session. Embers, I guess, is fine, but again, I would want to save that for the Rush Minion, because I don't know what deck they're going yet. Being able to double activate this Rush Minion could be good, especially considering they have nothing on the board. I guess since you drew the weapon, you could location, play the weapon, hit, and pump stuff up. So I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, especially if the hero power hit one. Oops, my bad. The hero power hit one, you location, hit the other, play the weapon. Like, that could be really, really strong. I agree with the play. Oh, I paused it, my bad. I think there's an argument to saving it for the for this minion, because you don't know what deck they're going yet. But here, I would probably... Interesting. I would go Anima Extractor, location, wait, okay. I would have maybe killed off the 3/3 with the two, with the, okay, so what I would have done, sorry, is I would have gone this onto this, traded, and then gone face. Because if they have, I guess Relic of Extinction's only at 1 damage, and killing this might not be that big of a deal, and you want to spread out your stats more. But I'm just thinking, oh, what the heck? What the absolute heck is this? No, they made the right play. I think my play would have been wrong there. Most of the times I think my plays would have been right, but I think this particular one of locationing this and killing that off does less damage. It sets up less. I think it makes more sense to do the play that you did, for sure. At this point, you could do a couple of different things here. You could play the rush minion, and you can go rush, and then trade, and then here. Which I think is probably best. You get a 3/3. I do think killing off the 3/2 is best, so that way they can't kill off the 1/4. I don't know. In my head, keeping the 3/3 alive means that if they kill off the taunt minions, maybe they can kill the 1/4. But if they play Emulation Aura to kill the taunt minions anyway, you're getting so many pumps that I guess it's probably still worth it for you. So that's fine. I would play the rush minion, trade, and then trade again. Yeah. They draw a bunch of cards, but it's fine. Okay, I 100% like this play. Go face, and then you can play the weapon next turn. Maybe even coin out Acolyte of Pain. And then hero power it so you have a damaged minion. I would hit the 3/3 into the 2/2 as well. I double clicked again. It's just a habit that I do when I play Hearthstone. I double click a bunch. But I would probably go Acolyte of Pain, hero power it, and then Imbued Axe. I guess there's a world where you could play the Wretch and you're trying to burst him down. Because going into turn 6, if they're playing Relic and they just have an unlucky hand, I guess they go Relic. Yeah, I guess this has been pumped up enough to where it's good. I would still hit here first, just in case you get one more pump on the Wretch. They don't hit first, which is a little bit... I would also have hit with the 3/3 here first. Just because the extra stats are there. You do 3 less damage, but you get a slightly bigger minion and the 2/2 is gone. I don't know if it would really have mattered. Another Unleash fell into double trade to kill that off. Okay, you're in a bit of a peculiar spot. The Crazed Wretch was fine. But again, like, the thing I'm thinking about is burst, right? But I guess, I guess killing that off means Steam Guardian's there. And the burst is definitely warranted. So, okay. Let's think about this turn again real quick. I think trading here, maybe an extra pump on this guy is worth it. I think that's correct. But I think playing this is probably better than coining out Acolyte of Pain. The burst damage is there. I sometimes don't respect the amount of damage this thing can do. And that's my bad. I do lack experience on this deck a little bit. The amount of damage this can do is insane. In my head, I want to save it for the Faceless, or the Battlesworn Faceless, to just burst them down, like literally an OTK. But there's definitely some merit to playing tempo here. And you already have other minions on the board, so it's fine to commit to that minion. Anyway, at this point, I'd say you just play both of your big things here. I would arguably coin out this as well. Yeah, I mean, the stats here are just insane. You reduce the cost of this, you're doing a bunch of damage. There's not really much else they can do. This Demon Hunter is basically just dead. They probably just sit here and wait. Oh, yeah, they do just lose. There's nothing they can do. They play 2 taunt minions, but you win. I'll watch one more because that one was pretty fast, and I think my advice on that one was meh. An anomaly throws me off a little bit. It does change. What anomaly was that? Hold up. They get upgraded hero powers, I think. Interesting. Upgraded hero power could change how you want to play this. I would keep probably against a rogue. So it's going to be a mech rogue. I would probably keep the Sun Fury champion, Acolyte of Pain, and Thorn, I guess. Honestly, I could keep everything here. I could see it. Let's look at the stats on this one, actually, because this one I'm a little bit more confused on. I would Okay, maybe you're not supposed to keep the Sun Fury champion here. What about into rogue matchups specifically? Because my thought process is you need a way to kill potential stealth minions. If they give it stealth, let's look at the rogue matchup specifically. It's got a really low win rate when kept, so I guess it actually doesn't help deal with it. And this is something else you can do, by the way. You can go into HS Replay, go to whatever matchup you're going against, and look at mulligans like, oh, it looks like the legendary card is an absolutely goated keep, but the other two aren't that great. Actually, Acolyte of Pain has a decent win rate and is kept a decent amount of the time, and it just will help you be a little bit more consistent in your mulligans. So I guess statistically, Thori you keep, Acolyte of Pain you maybe keep. They're definitely thinking about it. I would keep it in this situation just because I really like it. And then you get the Depths, which also synergizes very well and is a very good card as well. But yeah, going into this, I mean, turn 2, hero power and gain 4 armor for 2 mana is definitely solid. Okay, so it looks like they're probably going a bit more of a miracle build, which I'm perfectly fine with, by the way. Perfectly fine with that. It's got to be Acolyte of Pain, hero power next turn. I guess if you draw Steam Cleaner, there's an argument to playing that instead, but Acolyte of Pain will draw you at least 1 card. Then they could go Serrated Bone Spike. But I guess if they already have the weapon out, you're already going to lose value. I would still do it, yeah. As of right now, it survives the 2 attack weapon. If they have the Serrated, that sucks. And if they have Ghostly Strike, that sucks. But if they have Ghostly Strike, at least you're drawing an extra card, and then you play Thori next turn, so it's fine. They do have the Serrated Bone Spike. Either way, pump it or no pump, it was gonna die regardless. You drew 2 cards off of it though, and it baited out a removal, so no harm, no foul. You play Thori here next turn, pretty simple standard stuff. I would not go for a card draw. Just play Thori. Just play Thori, you want tempo. Okay. That is such a, okay. I see where they're coming from. They want to play Thori and try to get as much value out of it as possible, and I've fallen for this trap before. In fact, literally last game, I fell for the trap and I said, don't play the Crazed Wretch because you want to OTK them. And yeah, you can get a lot of value out of Thori if you like surprise them with it, but and you lose the rush, you lose it. But still playing it because you know you have other fire spells in your hand to continue the setup. You just want to play tempo here, especially against a Miracle Rogue, because if they hit the nuts and they play their location and then turn 5, they get something insane, or they play the card that sends a card back to your deck, the Gravedigger, and they send Thori back, all of a sudden you just lose so much value. It's just lame. Again, I probably play Thori here. I guess there's a world where you go Crazed Wretch and then you go the Faceless, but again, I feel like you want to save that for as much burst as possible. But I mean, this is fine. It's 10 damage for 5 mana. If you had Thori out there, you're doing 4 more damage and they're at 16, and you actually threaten lethal next turn with the weapon if you had Thori out here. So again, I think it was the right play. But I don't know. Again, if you had Thori out here, I would have agreed with this play more. But since you didn't, all of a sudden trying to play like this felt a little bit awkward to me. You lose both of them, it's fine. You got the 10 damage out of it, it's definitely not that bad. You can play Thori this turn now and hit him in the face. Or at this point, you could just go I would go Trial by Fire at this point. In this particular situation, I would now go Trial by Fire because you get a whole board of 2/2s where if he kills it, they get stronger. At this point, I think Thori is actually disadvantageous because it's not using your mana efficiently. Okay, they end up playing it. Cheat Death, okay, it's not that bad. I'm fine with that. It's not a great card. But look, you hero powered, and maybe because your hero power is upgraded, you want to hero power as much as possible, and that's why you're not playing. You didn't play Thori on curve, you didn't play Trial by Fire on curve, so I get that. The upgraded hero power, I saw you hover over this. I saw you hover over this and this as well. You hovered over the hero power and the anomalies. So I guess in your brain, you're probably thinking, oh, I want to hero power as much as possible. And this is why I hate anomalies, and it just completely changes how you would otherwise normally play a game. Because sometimes there are anomalies where, like, if you leave a mana unspent, draw a card. And so I will make a less advantageous tempo play to draw a card, and sometimes it's bad and it could lose me a game. So don't let anomalies like affect your play style too much if that's what was going on in your head. Because look, if you had a whole board of 2/2s out there right now, right? You could somehow deal a damage to, you could play Jam Session, right? On one of them, have 4 pumped up 2/2s. 4 pumped up 2/1s rather, sorry. Maybe one of them dies to the weapons. You have 3 of them. You should have Thori out on the board already, and then you play Jam Session into the weapon. Maybe even Crazed Wretch. You'll have 7 mana. It goes turn 7 is this Jam Session on one of the minions into weapon, and I think that's literally just lethal turn 7 if you played around that breaking point here. But now you can't threaten lethal, which is a little bit awkward, and it gives them more time to what's it called? Gives them more time to develop, because again, this is more of a miracle combo-ish rogue. And again, you're wasting precious value. Like you used up your other Crazed Wretch, which you want to use for burst. You have other ways that you can develop the board and deal damage. Okay, weird. Breakdance isn't great. They play another one. I mean, you still end up winning the game, I think here, almost, because you're able to play Trial by Fire, which allows you to kill that and go face. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Trial by Fire I don't think is lethal. And you have no minions in your hand, which makes things awkward as well. I mean, it has to be Trial here. I guess, arguably, you could go trade 2 minions. Excuse me. Trade 2 minions. I would have drawn... Okay, so on this turn, they went a little bit too fast. Trade 2 minions, draw a card for 2 mana. Or draw 2 cards for 2 mana. And then play the weapon, pump them all up, go face with Olgra. Is what I would have done. Because you would have done more damage here. Okay. I don't know. It was a little bit awkward. I guess if you had... And you're flooding the board here. I do think that that is okay. But you have to worry about Yogg-Saron. Yogg-Saron being played and making all of the minions hit themselves. I guess it pumps up Harmonia enough to where you probably win the game regardless. But you are committing a little bit much. I maybe would have saved the 2/2/4s. Just to play around Yogg, possibly. But... Okay. Oh no. You take control, you don't make them all hit? Oh. Don't worry, Yogg is getting nerfed. This is fine. Don't worry, Yogg's getting nerfed. This won't happen again. But again, if you had had, the Trial by Fire play earlier, you would have been in a much better spot right now. I mean, Trial by Fire is fine. So, okay, here's another little bit of a misplay in my opinion. Go Trial by Fire, you hit here, that's good, that's correct. Then, what I would do is you play Jam Session on this one. So it has 5 attack. Then you hit this. Then you pump up the rest with hitting with your weapon. And then I would honestly maybe hit the 7/5. I'd hit the 7/5, trade, and then leave it up. Probably. No, if you trade one here, then one will have 5 attack and it'll kill this off. So what you should have done, Jam Session. Hits here, doesn't die. They're all damaged. You hit maybe face, hold up. 3 attack, 3 attack, 3 attack. So be 3, no, I would hit here. So it would then be a 3 goes here. A 3 and a hit goes here, and then you just leave this one untouched. And then yeah. So then you're left with a big minion, another medium minion, and then a full health minion here that's a 3/4. Yeah, because now you're just in a really awkward spot. How do you hit and play Jam Session? Yeah, I think you just made your play too fast. Again, you made that play within the first like 10 seconds of your turn. And I guess this way does end up being okay. I would have Jam Session and killed the 7/5 here, maybe. I don't know. You're just in a bad spot regardless, because then they can play Rokara. I guess there's still maybe a way you win if you run Grommash in your deck. There's still a world where you win. Maybe you want to save the Jam Session for that, I guess. Deal 2 damage. That's unlucky. Trade, then they get Harmonia back. Okay. So at this point, you're just hoping to draw Grommash, right? That's pretty much it. Wow. Okay. That's not lethal, though. Do you have another location? Have they played both? Oh. again, I would have waited for more burst, possibly. I guess I did end up watching the whole video. I mean, I guess, yeah, but then they deafen and they deal damage. But if you had like a location, because you can hero power and you can tank up quite a bit of damage. You could have survived at least one more turn to maybe hit something. But yeah, the trial by fire turn and not playing Thori cost you the game, I think. Because again, in this matchup, you want to try to kill them before they get to Yogg. Obviously, after this, like, the matchup isn't going to be 1-to-1 because Yogg is going to be nerfed by the time this video goes out. I guess this matchup isn't going to be exactly the same, but like, in theory, I guess you just want to know what your win condition is. The game's basically over. There's no way you ever win this, so you're going to lose, I'm assuming. Yeah, they're just going to go face. So just general thoughts, I guess, are just general notes. 1, take a little bit more time on your turns. I think you do too much too fast. This is something that I'm very guilty of doing myself. In my defense, it's because I stream and I'm trying to talk through stuff and I'm trying to talk to chat at the same time. But I can't throw stones because I play too fast all the time. But take more time on your turns. Think about potential win conditions, right? In a certain matchup, what is your win condition and what stops you from doing that win condition? For example, playing your second Crazed Wretch, which limits your burst potential late game. Let's say if you have another jam session, you could have, maybe, if you had Crazed Wretch, you could have played the Crazed Wretch, maybe drawn another Battlesworn Faceless and gotten more damage here, right? Like, it's something that could have happened. It could have been a breaking point. Into a Rogue, playing more tempo because you know they have limited board wipe, and trying to kill them before they get to Yogg is very important. Playing around things your opponent might do, like playing the taunt minions in the first game, is also something you need to consider. So take your time on turns, think about your win condition, like in certain matchups, how are you gonna win? Is it tempo or burst? And then the third one is, how can my opponent stop me from doing this? Like in Death Knight, sorry, I think I said Demon Hunter. In Death Knight, potentially taunt minions. And how can I play around that? Maybe playing a slightly less optimal play to set up a wider board to go for their face a little bit later. But overall, I think several of your games are good. I think you made several good plays where you committed to the board and you closed out games very quickly. I think that this deck is just a higher skill cap deck where you need to know what breakpoints are. Honestly, I haven't played this deck too much, to be honest. So maybe some of the things I said aren't 100% optimal, but I think generally speaking they are correct, especially at like gold rank. So even if like I might have messed up a combo here or I might have not wanted to commit to a certain play, I think it's fine. For example, I think there was a play in one of like the third game where you played the Crazed Wretch and did 11 damage just because I didn't respect how much damage that thing could do, and I think that was in fact a pretty decent play. Also, me not counting the HP of the egg, it's possible I would have killed my own egg here and been very tilted. So I am proud of you for not making the misplay that I would have made. But yeah, overall, good games. I hope this helps. I hope this helps other people who are learning the game or just want to see pretty high legend gameplay. I mean, I've been top 100 legend when I try, so I'm moderately good at the game. And again, if any of you want to participate, feel free to just put a link in the description, or the link in the description takes you to the Discord, and you can just upload videos there. They do have to be YouTube videos, though, like this. Please do not submit these kind of games that are HS replays that are the like weird, that look weird. It's like the browser thing. You'll know it if you use HS replay. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.